Line number 12, The Wasteland, written by T.S. Eliot. Line number 12 is a German translation, or written in German. The First World War plays a very significant role in this poem. It serves as a backdrop for the poem. First World War, or the First World War, often abbreviated as WW1 or WW First, was a global war originating in Europe that lasted from 28 July 1914 to 11 November 1918. These two dates are inclusive. Lithuania became part of the Russian Empire after the final partition of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth in 1795. During the First World War, Lithuania was occupied by Germany and made part of Oberost on February 16, 1918. That is, before the completion of the war. The war ended on 11th November 1918, and this happened in February 17, 1918. The Council of Lithuania declared independence from both Germany and Russia. So this line acquires significance because there is a talk about Lithuania and Russian and Germany. What is Oberost? Oberost is short for this big German word for supreme commander of all German forces in the East during World War I or First World War. This is Latvia, this is Lithuania, this is Poland, and this happens to be the Russian occupied place. This is an old map. This is not a new one. This is Baltic Sea. Here it is Europe in 1914. Here you have Austria-Hungary. There is no such country now. This is Germany. This is Russia. This is Lithuania, and this is Estonia and all. This is Baltic Sea. Sweden and Norway are located just opposite that. Then we have our England here. Our England in the sense, the wasteland is written while T.S. Eliot lived there. This is Ireland. This is a small island. This part is called British Isles. And this is France, the fashion capital of the world is there, Paris. English Channel is in between England and France. And there is Spain, Portugal. Our Vasco da Gama has come from Portugal. Spain and England were friends and enemies for a long time. There is the famous Spanish Armada coming to England and being defeated by the English army during the Elizabethan period. The Spanish Tragedy is another famous work by Thomas Kyd. And we have Italy here, the place where the Renaissance happened. We have Greece here, Bulgaria, Romania, and all here, Ukraine. This is Turkey and this is Constantinople. This is Black Sea. Turkey is a link, or the Constantinople is the link between Asia and Europe. This is roughly the map of Europe in 1914. The present map is this one. This is a Google image or Google map. We can see Istanbul here, though here is the Turkey, Bulgaria, Romania, Ukraine, Belarus, and here is our Lithuania. Line number 12 of T.S. Eliot's Wasteland, Lithuania. This is Russia, this is Poland. We know Poland. Poland is a very famous place in Kerala. Germany is here, Russia is here, Lithuania is here. And the location of Germany is very important for us because Germanic tribes have come to England long back. So it has got a very greater influence on the language of British Isles. This is France. We have seen that earlier. Portugal is here. Spain is here. So we know the relative positions of some of the European countries. This is very important as far as English literature is concerned. The influence of various countries on English or on England or Britain is crucial to the study of literature there. So let's go to the next slide. Line number 12. A straight translation from the German. I am certainly no Russian. I come from Lithuania. A true German. This one. A true German. Lithuania. I am no Russian. So that is clear. Just one line, but pregnant with meaning. It carries history throughout. Line number 13 to 18, a recollection of our narrator Mary, and when we in the sense Mary and her relatives or her folks were children staying at the Archduke's. Archduke is her cousin. Archduke took me out on a sled. What is a sled? We will come to know it very soon. And I was frightened. I got scared. Why? Or being on a sled made her frightened or made her scared. He said, Mary, Mary. Who said he? That is her cousin. Mary, Mary, hold on tight. Hold on to something. Hold on to the sled. And down we went. So this must be a vehicle. In the mountains. So this is not a vehicle used on the road. It is it's a transportation method used in the mountainous terrain. There you feel free. So she is happy. Though she is frightened here, she becomes free and happy there. I read much of the night. During the night, she read something and goes south in the winter. After the or during the winter time, she went south for warmth. So childhood is here. Here it is, maybe she is getting older. Sled, she was frightened and free. If you are free of your fears, you will be free. But you just have to remember that, hold on tight. Very simple passage, not any reference to history or any such heavy matter. Just plain recollection of childhood memories. Oh, this is the sled. See, anybody would be happy to be on such a vehicle because it is a smooth flow downwards. You cannot go up on a slide, I believe, or a sledge, I believe. Line number 13 to 18. The reader is introduced to Mary at last in person, so to speak. We know Mary. We know the arrival of Mary. We expected the coming of Mary. They were having coffee and they were taking rest somewhere. We saw that. As she looks back on childhood freedoms while staying with her cousin the Archduke. The Archduke is her cousin. A first person admission ends this opening stanza. The opening stanza ends with her recollection or her coming and her arrival on scene. She reads at night, perhaps to alleviate, to reduce boredom. Perhaps because she is older, she is getting older, so she is reading. People read more when they get old, it is said. In winter time she goes out, presumably that would be the reason for the warmth, for getting warmth. The reader meets Mary for the first time in person. As she reflects on her childhood liberties, freedom, another word for freedom, while visiting with her cousin. Who is the cousin? The Archduke. The first stanza comes to a close with a first person admission, recognition. She reads at night either to pass the time or because she is getting older. She migrates south in the winter, apparently, presumably for getting warmth. വായനക്കാർ ആദ്യമായി മേരിയെ വ്യക്തിപരമായി അല്ലെങ്കിൽ വ്യക്തി എന്ന നിലയ്ക്ക് കണ്ടുമുട്ടുന്നു എന്ന് തന്നെ പറയാം. തൻ്റെ കസിൻ ആർച്ച് ഡ്യൂക്കിനെ സന്ദർശിക്കുമ്പോൾ അവൾക്കുണ്ടായിരുന്ന ബാല്യകാല സ്വാതന്ത്ര്യത്തെക്കുറിച്ച് ഓർമ്മിക്കുന്നുണ്ട് ഇവിടെ. പ്രഥമ പുരുഷൻ ആഖ്യാതാവിൻ, പ്രഥമ പുരുഷനാവാനാണ് സാധ്യത, ഫസ്റ്റ് പേഴ്സൺ, പ്രവേശനത്തോടെ ആദ്യ പദ്യഭാഗം അവസാനിക്കുന്നു. നേരം പോക്കിനായോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ പ്രായമാകുന്നതിനാലോ അവൾ രാത്രിയിൽ വായിക്കുന്നു. ശൈത്യകാലത്ത് തണുപ്പിൽ നിന്ന് രക്ഷ നേടാനായി അവൾ തെക്കോട്ട് കുടിയേറുന്നു. അതാവാം പ്രത്യക്ഷത്തിലുള്ള കാരണം. ലൈൻ നമ്പർ 19 to 24. What are the roots that clutch, that put down itself? What branches grow? What kind of roots turn out to be trees and grow further out of this stony rubbish? See the contrast. Roots, branches, but stony rubbish on the ground. Son of man, we have heard about Son of God. Here we cannot say, and he is addressing Son of man. You cannot say, or guess, you cannot even think about it. For you know only a heap of broken images. The answer for this cannot be given by Son of man. Who is this Son of man? We will come to know about it in a short while. A heap of broken images. All the images are broken. Where the sun beats, remember it is the springtime, April, and the dead tree gives no shelter. Tree is associated with benevolence, giving shelter to others, but a dead tree, no shelter, not even to a cricket. Cricket is a small kind of insect, not insect, a kind of thing, a kind of flying being. No relief for the cricket. And the dry stone, no sound of water. There was spring rain, but still no sound of water. Lines 19 to 24 talks about regeneration, and it also refers to Son of Man. Who is this Son of Man? We will come to know very soon. There is a change in the voice. Of course, there is a change. There is no Mary here. We leave Mary behind for the time being. The first question to be asked in the poem is rhetorical. Rhetorical. What are the roots that clutch? What branches grow out of this stony rubbish? Nothing. Nothing is the answer for this question. So a rhetorical question has an answer in it. The answer is obvious. The first question to be asked in the poem is rhetorical and relates to renewal, rebirth. What kind of life can emerge from this stony rubbish? No life, or a waste life, or nothing at all. The poem's first question is rhetorical and it has to do with regeneration. What type of life can this stone rubbish produce? No life. According to Eliot's poem notes, the question was directed at the Son of Man, not Christ, but the Old Testament prophet Ezekiel. Here, Jesus Christ is not being referred, but another prophet. In the Old Testament, Ezekiel is being referred. കവിതയുടെ ആദ്യ ചോദ്യം ഉത്തരം ആവശ്യമില്ലാത്ത ഒന്നാണ്. ഇതൊരു സാങ്കേതിക അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു സങ്കേതമാണ്, രചനാ സങ്കേതമാണ്. അത് പുനരുജ്ജീവനവുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ടിരിക്കുന്നു. ഈ കല്ല് മാലിന്യങ്ങൾ ഉൽപ്പാദിപ്പിക്കുന്നത് ഏത് തരം ജീവിതമാണ് എന്നോ ഏത് തരം ജീവിതം ഈ കല്ല് മാലിന്യങ്ങൾ ജനിപ്പിക്കുമെന്നോ ആവാം. കൂടുതൽ നല്ല തർജ്ജമകൾ പരിശോധിക്കാവുന്നതാണ്. റെട്ടറിക്കൽ ക്വസ്റ്റിനെ കുറിച്ച് ഒരു ലഘുവിവരം ശ്രദ്ധിക്കാം. എ റെട്ടറിക്കൽ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ഈസ് ആസ്ക്ഡ് ജസ്റ്റ് ഫോർ എഫക്റ്റ്, ഒരു ഇമ്പാക്റ്റ് ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്നതിനാണ്. ഓർ ടു ലേ എംഫസൈസ്, ഊന്നൽ കൊടുക്കുന്നതിനാണ്. ഓൺ സം പോയിന്റ് ബീങ് ഡിസ്കസ്ഡ്, നമ്മൾ ചർച്ച ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്ന ഭാഗത്തെ കുറിച്ച് ഒരു ഊന്നൽ കൊടുക്കുന്നതിനാണ്. വെൻ നോ റിയൽ ആൻസർ ഈസ് എക്സ്പെക്റ്റഡ്, ഒരു കൃത്യമായ ഉത്തരം ഒന്നും അവിടെ പ്രതീക്ഷിക്കുന്നില്ല. എ റെട്ടറിക്കൽ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ മേ ഹാവ് എൻ ഒബ്വിയസ് ആൻസർ, വളരെ വ്യക്തമായ ഉത്തരം ഉണ്ടാകാം ഒരു റെട്ടറിക്കൽ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യന്. ബട്ട് ദ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യനർ ആസ്ക്സ്, ചോദ്യകർത്താവ് ചോദിക്കുന്നത് എന്താണ്, എന്തിനാണ് ചോദിക്കുന്നത്? ആസ്ക് ഇറ്റ് ടു ലേ എംഫസിസ്, ഒരു ഊന്നൽ കൊടുക്കുന്നതിനാണ്. ടു ദ പോയിന്റ്, താൻ പറയുന്ന കാര്യത്തിന് ഊന്നൽ കൊടുക്കാനാണ്. ഇൻ ലിറ്ററേച്ചർ, സാഹിത്യത്തിൽ, എ റെട്ടറിക്കൽ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ഈസ് സെൽഫ് എവിഡന്റ്, സ്വയം വ്യക്തമാക്കുന്ന ഒന്നാണ് റെട്ടറിക്കൽ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ. ആൻഡ് യൂസ്ഡ് ഫോർ സ്റ്റൈൽ, അതൊരു ഭംഗിക്ക് വേണ്ടി ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നതാണ് as an impressive, persuasive device. This device is used to force a point upon the reader, persuasive, impressive, to give a grand standing for his stance, for his position. Broadly speaking, a rhetorical question is asked when the questioner himself knows the answer already. The answer is known to the person, but still he asks a question. Or an answer is not actually demanded. Where there is no need of an answer, he asks a question. So an answer is not expected from the audience. Such a question is used to emphasize a point or draw the audience's attention. The same thing is repeated here. Common rhetorical question examples are rhetorical questions, though almost needless or meaningless. There is no need of such things. It is meaningless. Seem a basic need of daily language. When we speak, when we talk with our fellow beings, we use the following questions. Some common examples of rhetorical questions from daily life are as follows. Just go through this, you know what rhetorical question or rhetorical questions are. Eliot introduces the reader to the Bible. It seems the question was aimed at the Son of Man, not Jesus Christ, according to Eliot's notes on the poem, but Old Testament prophet Ezekiel. And he said unto me, Son of man, stand upon thy feet, and I will speak unto thee. This is not part of the poem Wasteland, but this is from the Old Testament. The first reference, what is it? He said to me, Son of man, stand on your feet and I will speak to you. In this context, the term Son of Man refers to a human or a male human, but it can also refer to mankind as a whole. He just points to one man, but it can also be pointed to the whole humanity. The link to the Old Testament continues in Eliot's annotations, which refer to Ecclesiastes chapter 12 verses 5 to 7. Not very important, but this is to be noted down. This is part of it. The Old Testament allusion, the reference to Old Testament continues as Eliot's notes refer to the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 12 verses 5 to 7. Also, when they shall be afraid of that which is high and mighty, if you are afraid of it, and fears shall be in the way, then on your path you will be faced with fears. And the almond tree shall flourish. It will grow and will become big. And the grasshopper, the small creature, shall be a burden. Even a small creature will be a burden. And desire shall fail. Your wishes won't be fulfilled, because man goes to his long home. This is either heaven or hell. And the mourners, those who are sad of the death, will be in the street. The reference is to death primarily and the downfall of man from heaven, of course. Or ever the silver cord be loosed, the control of the heaven, if it gets loosened, or the golden bowl be broken, the blessings are not there, or the pitcher be broken at the fountain, from where the water is drawn, the pitcher, the bucket or something with which you take water from the fountain is broken, or the wheel broken at the cistern. This is also a reference to destruction in general. Everything that is life-giving is broken. Then shall the dust. Dust is very important because Eliot brings in the image of dust later on in the poem. Return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto God who gave it. This is a reference to Bible. Again, of course, this whole thing, the whole lines, line number 5, 6, 7, all these things are a reference to Old Testament. This line, dust, refers to the idea that man is made out of dust and he goes back to dust.